My first job cooking was in a diner in Illinois where I was born, and I cooked those burgers by my boss's order on a flat top. And we smashed them down, not quite as dramatically as we'll do today, but the caramelization happened. Today also I'm going to be doing a mojo, Latin American sauce, vinaigrette, marinade, and I'm going to make a barbecued mojo to dress some onions that we're going to cook on the flat top as well. So let's get going. The thing about a mojo is that you heat the oil. Vinaigrettes, you don't usually do that, but this is different, and you'll see why. So I'm going to put a cup of extra virgin olive oil into a pot, put it on the fire, and let it get toasty, like 300 degrees toasty. That's going to be the fat of our vinaigrette. So over here, let's bring that up to temp. Now in the meantime, I'm going to move my mortar and pestle over here. This is old school mojo. Most people just buy mojo in the store, and they would wonder why you would bother doing this anymore, but I think it just is better, so I'm going to do it this way. You can put this into a mini food chopper. I don't advise buying that pre-cut, pre-minced up garlic because I think it's way too strong, but just give it a little head start before you go into the mortar and pestle. And over here is a chili pepper that is native to the Caribbean, a Scotch bonnet chili, also known as a habanero chili. They're not exactly the same thing, but they have the same results in terms of flavor. To complement the mojo, in addition to the garlic and the chilies, we have cumin. Now it could be whole cumin or it can be ground cumin, a little bit of pepper, a little bit of salt, and then we're gonna mash them all up together. When I first learned of mojo, it was from a Cuban lady who told me, son, you got to get a mortar and pestle and make it like my grandmother did. And that meant putting the garlic and the cumin and the salt in the mortar and pestle first, because then you're going to stand over it and you're going to experience the aroma the way it was meant to be. So you got a beautiful mash, and you're going to know that by the way it looks, and you're going to know by the way it smells, because it is incredible. That's what I'm looking for. That's aromatherapy. Huh. That is where we are at. Okay, let's get the oil. Now, this is going to be something to be careful with. You want to start a little slow. Now watch the bubbles. This is a garlic explosion. You went through that move there for a reason. The reason is that you want to release the power that's in the garlic, in the cumin, and even the salt and pepper, and make it come alive, because that is the power that we're looking for. Now, we're going to put that into a bowl and add some acid. Get every bit. All of it. Okay. Now, we have a citrus that we can find in South Florida, but you're not going to find it all over the United States, and so we don't have it today. It's called sour orange, by the way. To approximate the sour orange, we're going to use a combination of grapefruit, lemon, and lime, which you can get everywhere. The reason for these three together is because in their unity, it's like a chord. Boom. With the sour orange, you get all of that in one fruit. Sour orange is not a fruit you would ever juice and drink. Way too tart. So by using grapefruit, lemon, and lime, I get toward that. But I'm also going to add acid in one more form, and that's going to be in this vinegar. And the vinegar I'm using is Spanish sherry wine vinegar. At home, I've got at least 15 different vinegars, and they all have different reasons to be there. You can maybe have 6, but don't have just 2. You'd be cutting yourself short. We all have our favorite barbecue sauces, and some of us make our own favorite barbecue sauces. In our family, we make one called herbs, but convenience barbecue sauces can be quite good, and I have one here. I'm going to go ahead and mix in and create a combo and make a mojo barbecue, just like this. So simple and so delicious, and you will become a convert, I promise. You'll be putting this on more things than burgers. Mix it up, taste it. Oof. That is not just barbecue sauce. That is mojo barbecue sauce. The next part will be the barbecued onions. Now I'm using onions that are in season right now. They're called spring onions, and we got them at the farmer's market and they're fabulous, so why not use things that are in season? I'm gonna cut these, I'm gonna trim off these ends right here and save them for stock. Nothing goes to waste. I think for everybody that's a dedicated home cook or a professional chef knows that stock is the treasury bond, the gold bars, the magic act. It's the stuff that makes food jump. We have homemade stocks and broths at home, in the refrigerator, in the freezer at all times. So I'm making stock often. Saving these parts right here, minus the little holders and things like that. This is free money. Just like when you get a rotisserie bird at the store, free money. Save the skin, save the bones. Put them in a bag in the freezer, and then when you're ready, one day it's raining outside, or you're stuck waiting for the guy to come over and repair your dishwasher or whatever. You're stuck at home, right? Don't have it be something where you're trapped. Do something productive. Make some beautiful stock. I've got my griddle at medium. Onions are cut. So let's go and put a little fat on that griddle. Nice medium heat, but we're gonna move them around as they break down because they will be breaking down in time. Scoop them up. You can put them into a bowl if you like. Sizzle. Sizzle the sound of action. Sizzle the sound of something starting. Sizzle the sound of something good. All cooking is about transformation, every bit of it. The Maillard reaction has been something we've been talking about for a while. It is the Maillard reaction that was identified by a Frenchman in 1912, whose last name was Maillard. Whether you remember that guy or not is not the point. What you want to do is experience the transformation. And a lot of times that means just shutting up and smelling and then tasting in that order. While the onions are cooking, I'm gonna dice up some salchichon, which is a kind of a, well, it's a pig product from Spain. And you can find this stuff easily. It's all over the markets now. A lot of times people think they'll never have that in my market. You'd be surprised. Just talk to the managers. The flavor of this sausage is so good because of the pigs it comes from, the Iberico pigs. Dynamite. So what we're going to do is chop this up. This is called salchichon. And if you're not familiar with that word, I won't be surprised or disappointed. It's also very similar to the Italian sopressata. It has a peppery, piggy, porcine nature. I wanted to create a smash burger that was going to be a little different, but not a lot of extra work. And this is going to do it for us. So chop it up into nice sized pieces. Then I'm going to pull the bowl over here. Before I add the ground beef to it, I've got another little magic ingredient here, which is miso. Poundingly full of umami. So just about a teaspoon, just like that. And then drop in maybe half of the salchichon, and then some of the burger meat. Before I go any further, I'm gonna rescue these onions. So let's get them off the griddle because they're sizzling. You see those little charred bits on the edge? That is money. Just go ahead and take it to the edge of the griddle. The flatness of that spatula is going to help you retrieve them very quickly. Now we've got caramelized onions, and we're going to take these and combine them with our moho barbecue sauce. Right here. Just enough to dress them, which will probably take most of this, if not all of it. Let's stop there and see where we are. Can you see inside that pot? That's good right there. You could make this even the day before and just have it warm, ready to go. So here we go. We'll set you aside. We're gonna add a little bit of salt. There's salt in the salchichon, and there's a little saltiness to the miso as well, so back up a bit. Go ahead and work your burger meat. I'm gonna make a few burgers, so let's not be shy. And go ahead and get it just well distributed. Give it a little massage. Have a little fun. Get your fingers in your food. It's all good. And that's like that. Don't mash it all up. It's a little loose is good, so it's not too compact when you go to bite into it. When I'm doing this right here, it takes me back to the first days in the diner. The owner's name was Jerry, and Jerry gave me a visual tutorial on how he wanted those hamburger patties put together. And I'm not going to do that because it's going to mash them up too much. But boy, he was enthusiastic about making those burgers the Jerry way. So there's one, two, and now one more. So let's bring over our meatballs. A little bit of fat down. We have fat in the burger, but we want to create that slick surface. So you want room between them so that when you go to smash them, they're not going to run into each other. I want my barbecued onions, the moho barbecued onions, to be warm. So I'm just going to go ahead over onto the edge of the griddle. This burner's off. Just going to go ahead and stick that over there. Let's just go about 15 seconds or so, and then I'm going to turn them over before I smash them. Before I smash them, I caramelize that one part that's hitting the griddle, just like this. You can always go right to the wall, come over here like that. We got a lot of nice color there, a lot of color there, a little less color there, but life's different. Now I'm going to smash them. If you need to use the spatula to release, you got one right here. Push it down, rock it a little bit, and then lift. Perfect. This one here, that was the tester. That one goes to the cat. Okay, our queso de freír. This is a Latin American cheese. Queso blanco is widely known. This is a cheese that is so firm that it will not melt on the griddle. It is a snack that is loved by people all over, but I've never seen it on a cheeseburger before. But I thought, well, I'm going to do a Latin burger, so why not do that too? So just as a little element, a little surprise, a way to show people that you're thinking about the totality of the dish. What is the whole character of that dish? When I'm making food, that's what I'm thinking about. Where does this dish come from? Where does it live? What does it wear? It's like making a movie, telling a story. 1, 2 and a half. These things are resilient. They won't melt quick. Nothing like American cheese. All right, let's grab some buns. And you can put butter on the buns, or you can put mayonnaise on the buns. That's been a kind of a recent thing, but it makes perfect sense because it's another form of fat. Let's go ahead and get this American cheese on the burger so they get nice and melty and happy all over our Smashburgers. Toasted buns, totally optional. I'm going to get these, the queso de freír, and I'm just move that out of my way. Put it over here where the warm side of the griddle is. It's already cooked. I mean, this cheese is cooked. You're not cooking to an internal temperature of anything like that. Gotta move quickly now. Let's get our buns. Actually, I'm gonna take the bottom one from right here because I want to rescue those burgers. There, and boom, boom, boom. Let's let that drop onto there. 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 And the surprise aspect of this thing is this queso de freír. You could serve these on the side so people can experience them that way, but I think a burger is meant to be eaten with your hands and no forks and knives necessary unless you're talking about vegetables or something else you've done. All right, put those there. Now I'm going to grab my moho onions. Moho barbecue onions. I mean, you're going to take this to a party, or the folks are coming over to your house to do a party, and they're going to say, what is that? And you're going to say, I'm not even telling you until you eat it. Folks, we have moho barbecued Smashburgers with queso de freír, a Latin American cheese, and let's get into it. It's going to be messy, but it's a glorious mess. I'm promising you that. Yeah, I talked about the early days in the diner, but I don't think they could have imagined that one day I would be making a burger like this in that diner. And if I could, I'd go back in time and give this to them like a present from the future. Heroic.